time was given like presents.
We are doing a waterfall circuit with no water.
While the candles inside
Love it.
made the wish come true. I don't know
The monument of Bushranger Thunderbolt.
just being there. Feels like home. It was
The
something
gins and vodkas and whiskeys.
that she
We're here at the point. Another day and another campsite under our belt.
Yep. Just down that way, past the outhouse, is the river. Nice little beach there. And if you're into fossicking, you can do that down that way. Getting pretty good at hitching up the caravan. We might not have a song, but we're pretty good at making sure that we double check and check again just to be sure that all the things are taken care of before we take off.
Yep. But we did forget one thing. Towing mirrors.
Towing mirrors.
There's always something.
Every night that we've pulled into here, there's new people that just pass through for the evening. Seems to be a pretty hot spot thanks to Wiki Camps. And we're at the New England Brewing Company. Very nice atmosphere. I can show you the vets that they have over there. This one does taste a lot like candy.
You already tried it?
I'm sorry, I was drinking it, you didn't say to stop?
This is very much like candy.
She sat there just chatting away and drank the honey ale, one of my favorites.
Oops. 3 beers in and we found a favorite. The Frederick India Black Hop Cannon. It tastes a lot like an amber ale, and I like it. Layer 33.
is in your life. So much love is in your life.
He's way too proud of himself there.
So much love is in your life. All the time I was here,
It's so close.
Now, Captain Thunderbolt's a very interesting bushranger. His full name is Frederick Wordsworth Ward. He gave himself a nickname after a robbery. And he's also renowned as the gentleman bushranger, leaving his victims with enough supplies and money to get back home after being robbed. He's the longest roaming bushranger in Australian history. There's even a road or a highway named after him called Thunderbolt's Way, and that's between Gloucester and Inverell. He was eventually shot and killed by Constable Alexander Binney Walker at Kentucky Creek near Uralla.
love is in your life.
We're here at the chapel. Now I feel like I can just hear parental jokes saying, huh, you guys finally made it to the chapel.
We're at Goswick Chapel, just outside of a small town called Uralla. This chapel is dedicated to the memory of Clive Collingwood Dangar, and it was built in 1921. All the bricks that you see on the premise were fired and sourced here.
The trees that line the streets around the chapel are elm trees, which were planted by a man from London. They brought him over specifically to do the job. In times of drought, there's a nearby water that they actually would use buckets from the river to bring and hand water all of the trees. They say there's 200 on the street. The stone wall surrounding the chapel was built to protect it from flooding.
Good morning. We're here at Eastside Estate. Used to be called Dobson's Distillery. We ran into a local in Uralla who works here as well as the bar in Uralla. He invited us to come in to take a look at their distillery, learn a little bit more about vodka distilling in gin distilling. They specialize in vodka and gin, but they also make wines and whiskeys here as well. The owner of this place, Steve Dobson, interesting fellow into cinema photography, and he's been involved in movies such as Moulin Rouge. So they've recently gone through a bit of rebranding, and they're now called East Side Estate instead of Dobson's Distillery.
This is really dumb still, it's called a pot still.
Okay.
All it is a boiler and a straight chamber. This is a big condenser.
Yep.
So it just runs cool water through it.
Yeah.
And it's got tubes on the inside where the vapour passes through and condenses, runs out. Because you don't want to evaporate all the water.
Yeah.
You're literally just trying to pull out the ethanol, concentrates it, we run it and it comes out about 40%.
Right.
Which is when it goes in that still.
I feel like that's something I would see in Alice in Wonderland.
Quite possibly. Ethanol evaporates in the plate below, rises up, meets cooling air from the plate above,
Right.
condenses back on the plate, runs
Right.
back down. It's one distillation every time it goes through one of those plates. Eventually it becomes molecularly light enough that it passes up through all of that. It hits the T-junction at the top. It allowed us to run vodka on one side
Yeah.
and gin on the other side.
Okay.
The very top of the carter head piece,
Yeah.
there's a basket of botanicals
Okay.
that it passes through as vapour.
Yeah.
So it's a snap extraction. It's about a 2-second extraction.
Okay.
Then condenses and runs out, and that's exactly what's over there. To taste it, all you do is run your finger underneath it, run it along your tongue.
Yeah.
What you'll taste now will only be one aspect of the gin because it takes 26 minutes for us to go through the whole range of evaporated levels for all the different chemicals.
Yeah. Cool.
To give you an idea,
Ah.
that's botanicals.
Looks like a mad science lab in here with all the bottles and beakers. And what's the inspiration behind the label as well?
Sorry?
The inspiration behind your label. I was reading about your
Drugs.
yeah.
Yeah, years of hanging about back alleys in King's Cross.
That'll do it.
My favourite period in art, and I do a lot of graphic art. I actually do graphic art for The Walking Dead, the TV show.
Oh, you do that too?
The thing with the graphic art is my favourite period is the period from about 1830 through to 1940.
Okay.
And particularly through the Belle Epoque, so that transition over Nouveau, arts and crafts, Deco,
Yeah.
that kind of blending of those. That's why you'll see it in all our stuff. It tends to have that feel about
Yeah.
it. That's probably why I enjoyed doing Moulin Rouge so much, because
Yeah.
it was kind of set in my favourite period.
Is there a particular reason why you like that era so much for art?
Yeah, drugs.
Yeah, drugs.
And in art, I find some periods just make me feel happy. You know, the art of some periods makes me feel happy.
Yeah.
Arts and crafts I love living with.
Yeah. No, I completely.
Glazing the whole house, it's all in arts and crafts stained glass.
Something you don't really see anymore today with
No.
graphic
And
design
that's the
thrown
other thing.
into it.
When other people zig, I always say, never go in the same direction as the world. Go in the opposite direction, you'll have a far richer experience. You want to see what pure ethanol tastes like?
Yeah.
You're in the heart of the one there.
Stick your finger.
Stick your finger in that
Run it
one.
over the top of your tongue.
Right. Just
That's it, 95.6%.
95%.
6%.
That run over the top of your tongue, you
Back
said.
to front.
Wow. I thought it was gonna be a hard, like steam kick.
When it's pure, that's the problem. The better the quality the vodka, the more dangerous it is. Because when you buy a really high quality vodka, there's no preservative in it, there's nothing to make you sick.
Yeah.
So for a child it can be quite dangerous, you know.
This is not what I was expecting it to taste like at all.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Well, this was unexpected. We just pulled out of Armidale and we're heading towards Waterfall Way. New England High Country is recognized for its waterfalls and rivers.
Come, Brad, let me show you where the water falls.
Wah, wah, wow.
Hey now. I didn't say I was going to show you a waterfall. I said where the water falls.
According to the brochures, that little gully in front of us, or that rather big gorge, should have raging waters. That's what the waterfall should look like. Now, the New England High Country is renowned for its national parks and the waterfall circuit just outside of Armidale. Our favorite park has to be the New England National Park. After spending nearly a month in the hot, dry desert near Manila and Tamworth, it was very welcome to be up in the high, cool altitude, surrounded by green forests. Snowfall is also quite common in this region during the winter. Near the car park, I found an awesome chalet offering great views and a wood burning fire to keep you warm in the winter. It smelled great in there. You could see much of the dividing range from various different viewpoints while hiking around New England National Park. Oxley Wild Rivers National Park, New England National Park, and Guy Fawkes National Park are well worth noting in the area. Hard to believe that only 6 hours later we would find ourselves back in the middle of the desert facing, once again, 40 plus degrees heat.